Hello guys and welcome back to our channel Barcaadmirers, and in this particular episode we are going to have a look at the results of the latest Barcelona game that ended up in a 2-2 stalemate against Osasuna. Now before we begin, I would really appreciate it if you guys could just like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel and also press on the bell icon so that you can turn on all the post notifications.
Now before we begin, a small shout out to OneFootball. If you are a football fan and want to stay updated about the plethora of latest news coming up in the vast world of football, then OneFootball is the best app for you. Be it the latest news updates, transfer rumors or update about club or international football, OneFootball has got it all covered. It is completely free to use and its biggest perk is that it gives you real-time match updates whenever a game is being played out, and whenever there's a major incident in the game, you will be notified by the app. You can select your favorite club and it will suggest you personalized articles. In my case, it's definitely Barcelona. Be it game statistics, current form of your team or individual performances of your players, you get it all. La Liga, Champions League, English Premier League, Serie A, World Cup, Bundesliga, League 1, MLS or AFC Champions League, everything you want, it's here. So go ahead, check it out. Link to download the app is given in the description of this video.
A Barcelona that appeared to be rather shaky at times conceded twice after taking the lead to drop 2 important points against Osasuna at their home stadium. Unfortunately, we ended up conceding a late equalizer to Osasuna despite all of the best efforts of our young players, as Ezzalzouli fired in an excellent effort for Osasuna on Sunday night. It looked early on as we took the lead in the 12th minute when 2 of our youngest and the brightest stars combined, Xavi lobbing a ball into the box for Nico Gonzalez to control nicely and curl it beyond goalkeeper Sergio Herrera. However, it did not last quite as long, as Barcelona's perfect start was wiped out shortly afterwards as David Garcia rose highest to glance in Joan Moncayola's free kick with some non-existent defending, helping Osasuna draw level. After the restart of the game, Xavi's side took the lead in the second half, although it wasn't exactly without a tinge of controversy. Osasuna were almost convinced that they should have had a penalty when a clearance smacked Sergio Busquets on the arm inside the Barcelona penalty box, but of course nothing was quite rightfully given, and the ensuing counter-attack saw Abde Ezzalzouli smash a half volley into the top corner, and what a goal that was. Now I don't really care what anyone says, but there was no question of that being a penalty. Yes, the ball did hit the hand of Busquets, but then again it was glued to his body and he was moving his hand away from the ball. The referee was right on the spot and he chose not to give that penalty, and quite rightfully as well. In the end, and quite expectedly as well, it was a defense that betrayed us. Barca looked very vulnerable from set pieces all night, and their failure to properly clear one late on in the game allowed Villa to latch onto the ball and shoot from the edge of the area. The Argentine rattled one past Marc-Andre ter Stegen, condemning the Blaugrana and Xavi to yet another disappointing result. The 2-2 draw against Osasuna means that Barcelona remain 8th in La Liga, while Osasuna have jumped up 1 place to 10th. Now the result might have been disappointing, and of course I would have wanted my team to take home all the 3 points, but trust me guys, somehow that second goal did not surprise me at all. It was coming. On the contrary, I believe there are some positives to be taken from this game and from the situation overall. For 1 second, just forget about everything else and have a look at all the names present in our squad. Pedri, Ansu Fati, Xavi, Nico Gonzalez, Abde Ezzalzouli, Ronald Araujo. I doubt if at any point in footballing history a club has promoted so many promising youngsters collectively from its youth system while being in the midst of a crisis. It just goes on to show how robust a youth setup is even now and how much it's been ignored under the Bartomeu administration. Now this game in particular belonged completely to the kids. Nico and Abde getting on the score sheet with 2 absolutely wonderful goals, Xavi bossing the middle of the park. All they now need to do is find that clinical edge, and I believe Xavi is guiding them towards that maturity. If anything, this draw shows exactly why the legends need to step down and make way for young blood. If our so-called veterans had even half the dedication that players like Xavi or Abde or Nico or Pedri show on the pitch, the club of course would not be in such a mess. It's a shame. Now moving on to the player ratings of the night. First up of course we have the goalkeepers and the defenders, and Marc-Andre ter Stegen gets a 6 out of 10. The German goalkeeper showed some signs of improvement, but he could not get near Garcia's excellent header. But then again, it was almost impossible, to be very honest. He looked heavy on his feet throughout the game. He sliced a clearance at one stage, but of course he got away with it luckily. He also got booked towards the end of the game for time wasting. Next up on the list is youngster Ronald Araujo, and he gets a 7 out of 10. He did quite well to shut down some promising Osasuna attacks, although he did look sometimes out of place on that right side. Veteran Gerard Piqué gets a 6.5 out of 10. He made a game-high 6 interceptions. Of course, he could have done more with a composed Samuel Umtiti alongside him, but he did all that he could. He got booked and of course will miss the next game. Playing as the left centre-back in a 3-man defence, Samuel Umtiti gets a disappointing 5 out of 10. The Frenchman had a few really shaky moments, giving away a needless corner in the opening 20 minutes with a loose pass. It was his first appearance of the season of course, so some rust was to be expected, but it was still a dodgy performance. Next up, we're going to rate all the midfielders and the wingers. Playing on the right side, Ousmane Dembele gets a 7.5 out of 10. His delicate free kick from outside the box almost set up Abde and then Samuel Umtiti, but the offside flag was raised regardless. He played the ball across the goal that led to Abde Ezzalzouli's strike. Pretty good defensively too, he made 3 tackles. Up next, playing as the interior midfielder, Nico Gonzalez gets a 7.5 out of 10. He showed great control and composure to take Xavi's cross and finish for the opener. He always looked to get on the ball, taking responsibility while his side were in possession, and to be very honest, he showed some excellent work ethic as well throughout the game. Veteran Sergio Busquets also had a better outing than the last time, as he gets a 7 out of 10. He had a cool, calm head when those around him showed a bit of inexperience. He had a scare when a clearance struck him on the arm before Abde Ezzalzouli's strike, but of course it was never a handball. Some good interceptions and trademark swivels on the ball gave him this rating. Academy graduate Pablo Xavi, playing as a central midfielder, also gets a 7 out of 10. He picked out a wonderful cross that found Nico early on and assisted him for the goal. He also earned a yellow card for a cynical challenge. Barca's most proficient passer, he had a completion rate of 91% of his passes. Operating as the left winger, Abde Ezzalzouli earns himself an 8.5 out of 10, and also this is the highest rating of the night. Abde had some really nice chinking runs down the left. His really nice finish, slamming the ball into the back of the net, gave Barcelona the lead in the second half from a half volley. It was also a constant threat and may have ended up with a few more goal involvements on another day, but for today, he will have to stay content with this awesome performance. Next up, playing as the attacking midfielder, Frenkie de Jong gets a 6.5 out of 10. He started further forward, but then he had to retreat in the deeper role later on. He could not put his stamp on the match, lacking that spark that made him so special at Ajax, but of course I still believe he will bounce back. Lastly, playing as the man up front, striker Luc de Jong gets a 4 out of 10, and of course this is the lowest rating of the night. The Dutchman absolutely butchered a great counter-attacking opportunity with a poor touch and pass. The only reason why he was on the pitch was because injuries forced Xavi's hand for this fixture, but it's safe to say that De Jong does not look like he will be a Barcelona player for that much longer. As far as the subs are concerned, Oscar Mingueza, who came on as the left back, gets a 6 out of 10. He made a couple of tackles after coming on in the 72nd minute. Right winger Felipe Coutinho gets a 5 out of 10. He only had 8 touches following his late introduction. Yet another late subbed on player, Ferran Yulga, who played on the left wing, remains unrated. However, it was a proud moment for the 22-year-old as he came on in injury time for his Barcelona debut. As far as the post-match comments are concerned, Gerard Piqué, of course, the only big mouth in our team, said that he thinks that from now on Barcelona will improve in games and results, because now every game will be a final. But then again, it's something that we have already heard before, and of course they haven't done anything to prove it. Manager Xavi Hernandez, also speaking in the post-game press interview, urged that they must change the negative dynamics. They urgently need a victory. He also said that after the scoreline was 1-2, it was time to have the ball, to have more calm and control, because they have not known how to play in the opponent's half for an extended period of time. The legendary midfielder also praised the youngsters that he put out on the pitch. He said that Abde was extraordinary and so were Nico and Xavi. The young players are supporting the team and they are the ones who make the difference, and that is a little bit difficult to digest because the veterans need to step up as well. He also insisted that they must change this negative dynamic. The goal is to be among the top 4 and try to get into the fight for La Liga and believe. They must keep competing. Regarding bringing on Eric Garcia, Xavi said that it was a game in which the centre-backs had to win a lot of the ball. Umtiti is training well and he thinks he played a good game. He said that this result is a harsh reality and it does not come to us because of footballing issues. In the end, there are 25 minutes that they should have patience and of course try to kill the game, and they did not do that. In the end, it's hard to believe, but Barca did not play their style of football, and it's not because of attitude. They lack it in the sporting sense as well. Elaborating on this, Xavi said that they went blatantly on the attack playing a 3-4-3. They went completely on the offensive, but in the end the legs failed. He told the players to defend with the ball and always go on the attack, but in the end Osasuna took us back and they have not known what to do. The positive note and also at the same time the negative is that the players who make the difference are the 17, 18 or 19-year-old kids. Abde's game today is spectacular and tremendous, just like Nico and Xavi, but they cannot be the only solutions right now for so many problems of the club. The veterans need to step up. The next fixture of Barcelona is a friendly against Barca on the 14th of December, and of course it will be interesting to see how exactly Xavi uses that game to experiment with his squad. As of right now, we have to go to bed with this disappointing result in our minds. Let us know what you think of this game down in the comments box below. Also, don't forget to like this video, share it and subscribe to our channel.